yourself. The first card you have your past is Judgment. Excuse me. Okay, so a bit of a complex card, a bit of a it means so many things. It's a huge card, actually, very, very big, important card. I'm seeing a lot of bravery here in this card. It's kind of like I came out of my box and I kind of came and stood my ground, and I kind of showed who I really was. I showed them my strength. So that's kind of what I'm getting there. You stood up for yourself. You stood up for someone else as well, I think. Now, you're not normally, I'm not saying you don't stand up for people, but you're usually a bit of a quiet achiever, let's say. So yeah, so I think there's someone, I'm seeing two people in this. So the first person is someone who tried to come between you and someone who's very, very close to you. This is someone who's super, super, super close to you. I don't know if this is a relative, might be a sibling. It might be a very, very close friend. It's the kind of relationship where, you can say whatever you like to them. You can tease each other, you can give each other some really, really hard truths, and you take it in the right way because you're very, very close friends. So you can tease each other, you could say horrible things as jokes and things, and because you're that close, you are that close. But I think when someone else comes along to do something or to criticize you, you're the first ones to kind of, stand up for each other. So that's what I'm seeing. It's automatic with you. That's how close you are to this person, if this resonates with you. This is what I'm seeing here. So, it's a very, very close relationship. And someone was trying to come in between you. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing someone running from one to the other, saying this to this one, that to that one. Very, very crafty behavior, very difficult behavior, very kind of manipulative, not very nice. This is someone who you don't see very often, but they're around you at this time. And I can see why you wouldn't see them very often. I wouldn't want to see them very often. And I think they were going behind your back, telling the other one about the other one. And they just didn't bank on how close you actually are. That's what I'm seeing. You're very close, and they just did not realise how close you were. They might have said, oh, that person's saying that about you, and that's, And of course, you talk, of course. So you found this out. They did as well. I think you really stood up to this person. I think you said something to them. I'm seeing silence here. So it might be that you're not talking to them now, or you've blocked them or something. But yeah, it was a big wake-up call, I think. Big wake-up call. I think you hadn't realised what this person was actually like. And you found this out, like this big trumpets, like this big wake-up call. That's what I'm seeing. Big warning. They showed you who they truly were. And at that very moment, it was like, no, enough. Enough is enough. And, this card can be about huge change as well. Big, big changes in your life. And I think the big change for you was how other people saw you. Because, again, you're not a completely quiet person, but you don't kind of blow your own trumpet like this one. You don't yell and scream and say things. If you're unhappy with someone, you go and tell them. You're very, you're a brave person, but not a lot of people see that in you because you are quiet. People often think that brave people are people who are loud. No, not necessarily. And, usually the opposite's the case. So, you showed all these people your bravery. It was like they saw you come out of your box like these people on this card. You shocked a lot of people. They're like, oh, I didn't think they'd say that. I didn't think they'd be like that. But you were like that. You showed them your strength. You showed everyone your strength. And I think from then on, a lot of people around you saw this other side of you. No one's going to give you any more nonsense now because they can see what you truly have inside you, a lot of strength. And that's why this has turned it was a bad situation, but I think it turned into a good thing for you for that reason. Okay, so the next card you have your past, the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, look at this. Beautiful, beautiful caring in this card. This is how you feel about this person who's close to you. So close. It might be siblings, might be very close friends, might even be a mother and child relationship if it's an adult child, because I'm seeing two adults here. But yeah, obviously there's a mother here caring for this coin. So lots and lots of caring. You care for them, they care for you. What I'm seeing here is no one's ever going to come between you ever again. That's one thing. if you're worrying about this, and no one's ever going to be able to take that bond away or break that bond. No one is ever going to be able to do that. You are just so close, and no matter what anyone says or does, you're going to tell each other. You always have, and that's always going to be there. So just know that. That's what I'm seeing there, and I had to emphasize that to you for some reason. Maybe you're worrying about something, about your friend or something, or whoever this is. That bond is never going to break. That's what I'm seeing, if that resonates with you. Okay, so the last card you have, your past strength. Again, here is your strength. Here is your strength. Everyone can see how strong you are. And again, this is about, you know, silence. Look at this woman. She's very quiet. She's taking care of this lion. And so that's how people used to see you, but now they see you more as the actual lion. And, you know, again, all this beautiful care in this card, the way this woman's caring for this lion. Okay, the other thing here is, yeah, it's a bit of a warning actually. Just be aware that this person, I'm seeing this manipulative person who might come up again. They might come back and they might try to talk to you again. I'm actually seeing they might try to text you or message you. So now, they should be apologizing. They should be apologizing, but they're not going to do that. It's like they're going to try and justify themselves in some way. It might be an excuse or something like that. Yeah, this is a message, so they're not going to speak to you face to face. And they're not like this lion, they're like a coward actually. And wow, this is really awful. This is what I'm seeing. Two-faced again, backstabbing again, or manipulating again. I'm seeing a message and I'm seeing a copy of that message. So what they might do is they might text you a message or email a message to you, and then they might copy it to someone else and send it to someone else. So it's like, even if they did apologize and they did that, it'd be horrible, because it's like they're going behind your back, and it's almost like they're talking behind your back. They're saying, oh, look at what I showed this person. Look at what I showed them. I sent them this. That's not genuine. That's going behind your back. That's what it is. And it's not an apology anyway. It's a justification for what they've done. So I think when you get this, you obviously haven't blocked them, I'm seeing now, if you're getting this message. So if you do get this message, so just thinking about it now, because this is in the past, but if you do get this message, I think you are going to have to tame your temper. You're not usually a bad-tempered person. It takes a lot for you to be angry. I'm seeing that here. But this is way beyond. Because they've already done this one thing, if this is resonating, and now this second thing's happening with this message. So I think the message here is rise above this, like the lion and the woman, because they're bigger than the landscape around them. They're very big. So rise up above this, tame your temper, which is what this strength card can be about. For one, I think if you say anything to them, they'll probably run with that and tell other people, because that's the kind of person they're like. And also, you just need to rise above them. Rise above that kind of low level energy, and try not to think about them. I would absolutely block them if I were you. I wouldn't want them around me at all. Just saying, I'm not telling you what to do. That's what I do. Okay, so the first card you have, your presence, the Chariot. Yeah, so, all right. So what I'm seeing here is, I think you've been through quite a difficult time, actually. You've been waiting for something. It's some kind of okay, what I'm seeing is a polarizing thing, actually. It's like you're waiting for something to happen. You're waiting for a result. You don't know if it's going to be good or bad. Now, it could be something that changes your life in a good way, or it could be something that changes your life in a bad way. So it might be something like whether you're going to get a job, and if you don't get that, it's going to be very, very hard for you. It might be something that you've applied for. It might be a government kind of thing that you've applied for that you really, really desperately need. It's something that's very, very important to you, because I think you've lost sleep over this. I think you're really waiting for this thing. And I think you're really stressed because you're kind of thinking, oh, if it's the bad option, if it comes up bad, I just don't know what I'll do. I don't know what I'll do. I'm waiting. I want to find out what's going to happen, but I'm also scared of finding out what's going to happen, because if it's this bad thing, I just don't know what I'm going to do. So, I think you have had a couple of times where you thought, oh, here it is, this is the answer. Maybe it's a letter that's come in, maybe it's an email that's come in, and you've read it and you thought, oh, that's not it. Oh, now I have to keep on waiting again. So I think the real breakthrough is going to come in for you. And it's going to come in, I think, after this nasty retrograde. It's nasty to me. So toward the end of November, after the 21st, that's when I think this breakthrough is going to come in for you. I think it's something to do with money. I think it's something to do with job, whether you're going to keep your job or lose it. It's some big life thing like that. And I think it is going to be positive. I'm seeing positivity at the end of this. And, you have the Judgment card here as well, which can be about a huge change in direction, a huge life direction. So I think when this positive thing comes in, I think it is positive. I don't know 100%, but that's what I'm seeing here. It's going to be like, oh, now I've got this fantastic breakthrough. I can start to do lots of things. And I feel totally different now. It's like my life's really changing now. It's almost like, oh, I've got a second chance now. I can do this, I can do that. So I'm really happy to see this for you if this resonates, because that's what the Chariot's about. It's about, yes, I can now break through, I can now move forward, I can now do what I want to do. So that's what I'm seeing now. Okay, so the next card you have your presence, the King of Cups. Okay, so I'm looking at these two cards together, this one and the Ace of Pentacles. So I'll talk about them together because I think they're kind of connected in this reading. So, okay, so with this king, he's a really difficult king actually. He's really difficult to read. He's in the middle of all this water. He's at the center of all these emotions, but we can't see what he's thinking. We can't see what he's feeling. His face looks really kind of blank. So he's very difficult to read. And I'm seeing love here. I'm seeing a love connection. And I think your partner, I think that might be about them. I think they might be difficult to read. And, they might have been like this for a while, actually, maybe a little bit standoffish, a little bit of a difficult face, they're kind of putting a face on or something. You've tried to talk to them. And, it's a little bit, this is what I'm seeing. It's a little bit like the classic, you see someone who looks really miserable and you say, oh, what's wrong? And they say, oh, nothing. That's the kind of thing. But something's wrong. You can see it in their face. Something's not right, but you can't pinpoint what it is. You don't know what it is, and they won't tell you. So that's kind of what I'm getting there. And I think because you've been a bit stressed, you've had this thing you're waiting for. You're probably still waiting now. And you had this kind of manipulative person and all of that. I think you just let this go. You put it aside. You said, well, I'll just leave it for now. They can be like this, but I'm just going to put it aside right now because I can't deal with another thing. But I think with this big change that's happening, you're going to feel like, okay, anything that's bugging me, anything that's not right in my life, I'm going to go around fixing it. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think you're going to try and fix this with them. There might be another issue in this relationship. This is quite specific, so it's only going to resonate with some, but I'm seeing this, so I'm going to say it. It's putting a big strain on things. There might not be as much passion in this relationship as there used to be. Because there's a red ship, it's behind this king, it's on the right-hand side, and it's sailing away. So it's like red passions going away, sailing away. I'm not sure what the cause of this is. It's kind of a bit like cause and effect. I don't know whether this is causing stress or whether the stress is causing this. Could be either those things. So there's that. I still think this has a good chance, actually, with this Ace of Pentacles. I'll tell you what I'm seeing in this Ace of Pentacles. It's telling me two things about this relationship. The first thing is this is stability. So there is stability at the bottom of this, beneath this, good foundations. And the Ace of Pentacles can also be about new, fresh beginnings, new possibilities. So now that you've had this fresh start, I think you're open to new possibilities, you're ready to start afresh and all of that. And so two good signs there. I'm just looking at this Chariot again. It might actually be a good thing for you to go away together somewhere. Not just to talk about things, but I think just to get away from stress. You both had so much stress around you, and I think maybe you just need to spend some time away from things. And I would say if you do go away and you do just go to somewhere peaceful or get away, don't talk about problems while you're away. I know I'm telling you what to do, but this is kind of what I'm seeing here. Because I think what you should really do is just get away from all the stress, just enjoy the time, just have fun, whatever you do. Then when that air's cleared, when that's all over with, you've got those happy memories that you've kind of made together. I know that sounds cheesy, but you've done all that, cleared the air, come back again, and then you can start to talk. You'll feel a lot happier about talking. You won't have that stress around your head anymore. You'll have gotten rid of some of that, and then you'll be a lot more relaxed and you'll both be ready to talk. So try that. If you can't get away, just try an afternoon or a day or something like that. And yeah, so that's just what I'm seeing here. But it looks very, very positive. It looks very, very, very positive for this relationship. It doesn't feel like it right now, but I feel as if I have to tell you that because you might be a bit worried about this, stressed about this. So yeah, I hope that makes sense to someone who needs to hear that. Okay, so the first card you have for your future is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, this is fantastic. I love this. I'll just show you this. So, okay, so you had two problems I was seeing in the Two of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles in this relationship. One was a lack of communication. The other one was a lack of passion. So the colour of communication is yellow. The colour of passion's obviously red. Put them together and you have orange. And that's this great big orange wheel that we have here. So that's showing me that you are going to put all of these together back into this big, lovely orange wheel. And you're going to get back together, get all of that back together again. And it's all going to be quite positive for you again. So that's a really, really good sign. And the other thing about this wheel is it's spinning forwards. So you're going to move forwards in your relationship. So beautiful to see that. I love seeing that. Very, very good. Lots of effort's going to be made here to help that to happen. And yeah, I'm seeing a lot of openness here, a lot of open conversations. That's what this can be about as well. And yeah, you're going to learn a lot about each other as well when you have these talks, because if you look at these characters around this card, the Wheel of Fortune card, they're reading books, so learning. So you're going to learn more things about each other. Okay, so there is something here that you are going to learn about them. And it might be a bit of a surprise. Now, it's not a very positive thing. It's something that's going to be uncovered when you talk to them. Now, don't worry about this. It's not something terrible about your relationship. They're not cheating. They haven't done anything terrible. It's not about your relationship. This is about them. And I think it's something about their past. I think this is going to be a bit of a surprise to you. Okay, so I think this is going to sound a little bit strange. I'm just going to tell you anyway. It feels like something to do with children. So, okay, I think this is what it is. It might be that this is about something that happened when they were younger or when they were a child, because this is something that goes right back for them. So whatever this is, and again, I need to tell you this again, it doesn't affect you, it doesn't affect your relationship. The only thing that affects your relationship about this is the way that this affects them emotionally. That might affect that, but it's not directly affecting your relationship, if that makes sense. Yeah, and there's a bit of a barrier between you because of this thing, because they've been keeping this to themselves, and they're going to open up about this. And that might be partially why they were hard to read. You're going to find out what this is. And there's so much beautiful compassion about this, especially from you to them. You're going to be very kind, very compassionate. You're going to listen, and you're going to get through this with them because of that. So, you know, I just keep on having to say this to you again, because you are going through this difficult time, I think, in the King of Cups. So there are many, 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 many very positive cards around this relationship if you are in this relationship. Okay, so wanted to stress that for you again. Okay, so the next card you have for your future is the Eight of Cups. Okay, so I think what might have happened with them is years ago, they walked away from something or someone when they're a lot younger, when they're a child, because I keep on seeing a child here. I'm not sure what happened, but there were a lot of problems around them and they had to move away or walk away. They walked away from a very, very difficult situation. It wasn't their fault. Now, I have to stress that it wasn't their fault. I feel as if I have to keep on stressing that because it feels to me like, that maybe they were blamed for something unfairly. And I'm just looking at this moon as well on this card, and it looks as if it's disgusted. It's looking down on this man, giving him this horrible look. So I think someone blamed them for something and it wasn't their fault. So if that all makes sense to you, it probably doesn't because you might not know this yet, if this is for you. They've kept a lot of these things to themselves. It's not going to be easy for them to talk to you about this, but they are going to eventually open up about this. If this turns out to be something really, really serious, they might even need to go to counselling. But, you're a really caring person and they have you. And they know that they have you. And I think even though this is a not very good thing, knowing that they have you, knowing that they can open up to you, I think that's going to make you bond together as well. So that's another thing there that I'm seeing. Okay, so the last card you have for your future is the Lovers. Okay, so yeah, this can be about all kinds of different things. It can be very complex depending on what's around this. But I'm seeing this in its most simplest form because you have all these very positive relationship cards here. So obviously, I'm just seeing this as the Lovers. This is you. This is your relationship. This is the positivity for this relationship. You're going to be talking, very gentle, very caring talking, lots of love there. Passion opening up again with these beautiful wings on this angel. So very, very positive outcome once again. And it just really speaks for itself, really. So I won't say any more about